What if I told you that your cholesterol, your blood pressure, and even your family's track record aren't the ultimate fortune teller for your lifespan? Well, buckle up because science has found a single fitness number that predicts your chances of living a long and healthy life with almost scary accuracy. I'm talking about a landmark study that found people with the lowest score on this one test had a risk of dying that was nearly 4 times higher than people with the best scores. That's a risk factor so significant it rivals traditional villains like smoking and heart disease. This isn't some TikTok fitness trend. It's a fundamental measure of your body's performance, and today I'm going to show you what it is, how you can test it yourself at home, and the simple ways you can start improving it immediately. The best part? Most people have never even heard of it. The metric is called VO2 max. Think of your body as an engine. Not just any engine, a high-performance machine. That engine needs fuel, sure, but more importantly, it needs oxygen to burn that fuel and create power. VO2 max is the measurement of how efficiently your engine, your heart, lungs, and muscles can suck in oxygen and put it to work. It's your body's horsepower, and it is one of the most powerful predictors of your future health we know of. So what's the big deal with VO2 max? Let's get into it. The undeniable science. For ages, we've been told to keep an eye on things like high blood pressure, diabetes, and smoking. And you absolutely should. But a tidal wave of research is making it clear that your cardiorespiratory fitness, measured by VO2 max, is arguably just as, if not more, important. The knockout punch of evidence comes from a massive 2018 study at the Cleveland Clinic. They looked at over 122,000 adults who did a treadmill stress test. The results were jaw-dropping. They found a direct link. The higher your fitness, the lower your risk of dying from any cause. The people with the worst fitness had a mortality risk that was nearly 4 times higher than the elite fitness group. To give you some context, having poor fitness was shown to be a more powerful predictor of death than having conditions like coronary artery disease or being a smoker. There was literally no upper limit to the benefits. The fitter you were, the longer you lived. The most athletic people in the study had an 80% reduction in their mortality risk. Longevity experts like Dr. Peter Attia love to point out that just moving from a low VO2 max to below average cuts your risk of dying from anything by a whopping 50%. That's a life-changing lottery ticket, and it's a win that's within reach for almost everyone. Why is it so powerful? Because your VO2 max is a direct report card for your entire cardiovascular system. It tells you how well your heart is pumping, how well your lungs are grabbing oxygen, and how good your muscles are at using that oxygen for energy. A high VO2 max means your whole system is tough, efficient, and ready to handle whatever life throws at it, from illness to just getting older. The gold standard test. All right, so how do you find out your magic number? The most accurate method, the gold standard, happens in a lab. You've probably seen pictures of this. Some super athlete looking like a sci-fi character on a treadmill, breathing into a mask hooked up to a bunch of computers. They basically make you run or cycle until you feel like your legs might fall off. The mask measures exactly how much oxygen your body is chugging at your absolute peak. This gives you a super precise number, but let's be real. These tests are expensive, hard to find, and about as fun as a root canal. Don't worry, you don't need to do that. There are some great ways to get a solid estimate at home. No fancy mask required. Test yourself at home. Here are a couple of classic, well-proven tests you can do yourself. First, for the runners out there, we have the Cooper 1.5-mile run test. The plan is simple, but the execution, not so much. Find a flat, measurable spot, like a local 400-meter running track, warm up properly, then hit start on your watch and run 1.5 miles, that's 2.4 kilometers, or about 6 laps, as fast as you possibly can. We're talking an I'm being chased by a bear level of effort. Write down your time. Once you have your time, just pop it into an online calculator. Search for Cooper Test VO2 Max Calculator, and it'll spit out a surprisingly accurate estimate. This test is a well-known variant of the original 12-minute Cooper run. But what if going all out sounds like a terrible, horrible, no good, very bad day? there's a fantastic lower-impact option, the Rockport walking test. Again, find a flat 1-mile course. A treadmill is perfect for this. After a quick warm-up, walk 1 mile as fast as you can. No jogging. We're power walking here. As soon as you finish, record your time and immediately check your heart rate for 15 seconds. Multiply that by 4 to get your beats per minute. Plug those numbers, along with your age, weight, and gender, into a Rockport test calculator online, and you're good to go. And of course, there's your wrist buddy. Many smartwatches from Garmin, Polar, and Apple will give you a VO2 max estimate based on your heart rate during outdoor walks and runs. While it's not lab perfect, it's an amazing tool for tracking your progress over time. Is your fitness going up or down? Your watch knows. What your score actually means. Okay, you did the test, you have a number. Now what? Is it good? First, don't freak out. Your score will vary a ton based on your age and gender. For example, a good score for a 30-year-old guy might be in the low to mid-40s milliliters per kilogram per minute, while a good score for a 30-year-old woman would be in the high 30s. For a 55-year-old man, anything above 35 would be considered good. You can find VO2 max charts by age and gender online to see where you stand. But listen to me, this is not a final exam. Your score today is not a judgment. It's a starting line. It's powerful information. The most exciting thing about VO2 max is that you can absolutely change it. How you improve it? This is where you become the boss of your own biology. Improving your VO2 max is one of the biggest levers you can pull for a longer, healthier life. The science points to 2 main ways to do it. First, and most important, is Zone 2 cardio. This is your foundation. Zone 2 is low-intensity exercise where you can still hold a conversation. Think of it as Netflix and cycle intensity, a brisk walk, a light jog, or steady cycling. It should feel easy. The magic here is that Zone 2 training builds more mitochondria in your cells. Those are the little power plants that use oxygen to make energy. Aim for around 150 to 180 minutes of this stuff spread throughout your week. The second method is high-intensity interval training, or HIIT. If Zone 2 builds your base, HIIT raises the roof. This is where you go all out in short bursts, followed by recovery. This directly challenges your heart to pump like crazy and your muscles to soak up oxygen under pressure. A killer HIIT workout to try is the 4x4. Warm up for about 10 minutes. Go hard for 4 minutes. I mean, hard. You should be breathing so heavily you can't get a full sentence out. Follow that with 3 minutes of easy recovery, like slow walking. Repeat that whole cycle 4 times. Just 1 or 2 of these sessions a week on top of your Zone 2 work can create huge gains in your VO2 max. Every single point you add to your score matters. Research has shown that each 1 MET increase in fitness, which is 3.5 milliliters per kilogram per minute, is linked to a significant drop, around 15%, in mortality risk. So what's the bottom line? VO2 max is your aerobic horsepower, and it's one of the best predictors of longevity we have. You don't need a fancy lab to figure out your number, and best of all, you have complete control over improving it through a smart mix of low and high-intensity training. This isn't just a number to track, it's a whole new way of thinking about your health. It's about shifting from just trying not to get sick to actively building a more powerful, resilient body that will serve you for decades. If you found this useful and want to keep learning how to upgrade your own human machine, hit that subscribe button and check out our next video right here. Thanks for watching.